Mm. Dear Diary, how I miss making fun of Kenny and Olivia. And I really, really, really miss teasing Led. Oh, hi, it's Mr. Courtney again. Yeah, this is your second writing lesson, so welcome back. Take a look at our flea map from yesterday. If you do not have a flea map by now, you must make sure that you finish a flea map. So pause the video, finish your flea map, and then come back. Okay, ready? Pause. And now you're back. Okay, so you will notice that I fleshed out a lot of this. So first of all, I added a hook. Like we learned in class, sometimes 2 questions is better than 1. I made sure that my hook matched my main idea. I said it out loud. How are you handling the closure of schools? What do you plan to do in the next few weeks? Look at that, I caught a mistake. With all this free time, I have a lot of plans myself. Okay, I wanted to make sure that that flowed nicely. And then for background info, again, I didn't tell my whole life story. I just gave a little bit of info. On Friday, I learned that I would not get to challenge Olivia to one-on-one basketball for a while. I should probably also add, and that we would not be returning to school on Monday. Although, not being able to challenge Olivia really is the number one story here. And then I gave a little preview. Again, nothing silly, nothing fancy, just here is what I foresee happening with the time. That is my transition into my body paragraphs, which we're going to write about tomorrow. And you'll probably notice as well that I start filling these out with some other stuff, and that I've even begun to think about my transitions. What transitions will I be using to move through my body paragraph? So, pretty easy today. What we're going to do, see if you can see that, is we are going to write our introduction for our report. So, we're going to start with our name, date, room number. How hard can it be? Today is the 19th of March, 2020. And I am not in room 801, so I am writing this from the surf den. So I'm going to put that over here. And I don't know what my title is yet. Something about free time. Something about, I don't know. I'm gonna wait on that. But I do know how I'm going to start. I am going to start with my hook. And my hook was, how are you, notice I indented here, how are you handling the closure of school? And then, what do you plan to do? What do you plan to do in the next couple of weeks? Okay, I've got my nice 2 hook sentences here, and I'm just going to put off on the side that this is my hook. You can write that, or you don't have to. Okay, I also want to think about who I'm writing to. Who is this you? And I was thinking I'm probably writing this to all the Thunder Eagles. I mean, that's probably who the you is. But if you're writing to a you, make sure you consider who that is. It could be your mom, could be your dad, could be Miss Hunter, could be Mr. Courtney, Miss Ritchie, anybody. How are you handling the closure of school? What do you plan to do in the next couple of weeks? Here I go. Boom, I want to get right to my main idea. So I've already checked it with all this free time. And I'm going to change it a little bit because I'm allowed to. With all this free time, I have decided to, what have I decided to do? I have decided to, oh, I was going to say something else. I have decided to make a few extra plans. There is my main idea. So let me mark that for you guys. With all this free time, I have decided to make a few extra plans. Very important sentence. This is the main idea that is going to control the entire report. So I want to make sure I know that I am going to be making extra plans. What are my plans? Reading, gardening, and being in the ocean. Now I need to tell them a little bit about what happened, because maybe a future person gets this and says, what is this all about? So I'm going to tell a little bit of background about what's going on. On Friday, I learned that school will be unexpectedly canceled for several weeks. I'm not putting in that part about Olivia's basketball because I think it's a little too silly for the introduction. And I also think that I might put it in the closure. I like to be a little silly in my conclusion. I can say something funny then, but I think I've already got their attention. This is pretty serious, so I don't want to make something too silly. On Friday, I learned that school will be unexpectedly canceled for several weeks. And maybe I'll add something like, there are so many school events I will miss. However, this gives me time to get into the ocean, checking my flea map here, get into the ocean, into my garden, and into some books. Boom, into some books. Okay? And then I want a little bit of a preview. Here are my big plans for using up all this time. Now, I'm going to take a picture of this introduction. This is the background, as we discussed. I made a couple of sentences because I wanted to make sure that I really explained what was going on. And this is that little preview that we like. Some people call it the transition. You could call it a transition if you like to. And I'll take a picture of this and put it in the comments. And I'd like for you to take a picture of your introduction and put it in the comments too, okay? If you have any notes, you could put them off in the margin like we do in class. That's perfectly fine, okay? But if you notice, in my flea map, I made lots of changes, right? I've talked about this lots and lots of times in the classroom. It's totally okay to make changes because as you write, sometimes your plan doesn't feel the same. So feel free to take your flea map and change it up. Feel free to put a star and add a thought or put it on the back side. You could do that too. Okay, I'll take a picture of the flea map too. I look forward to seeing all of your introductions. I know a couple of you have already told me that you're not writing about the week off. You've got other things you want to write about. I know somebody is writing about COVID-19. And so here in the background, they will probably give me some research that they find online about the virus or about what's going on with it. Okay? All right, everybody. It's Mr. Courtney. I will see you all later. Have a wonderful afternoon, and don't forget to write this one short paragraph so that you're all caught up.